Hello my dear students, welcome to the class of 11th English medium. The subject is statistics, chapter 3, measures of central tendency, brought to you by Vitan sir. This time we are going to start with exercise 3.1. The first question: the weekly growths in centimeter in saplings grown in a nursery are these data. Find mean growth. Now, as you can look at the data, you will see that there are 10 saplings given. That means 10 data is given here, 1.0, 3.2, etc. When you count it out, there are 10 options. So number is 10. Then we have to make a total of all these observations. So we will just write them down and add them up, and we will get summation xi as 17.8. So total number of saplings are 10 and the total of all of their growths is 17.8 centimeters. Next step is to calculate mean. The formula here is very simple. X bar is equal to summation xi upon n, that is total of all the observations 17.8 divided by number of observations 10. So our answer here will be 1.78. Thus the mean growth of saplings is 1.78 centimeters. Okay, it's a very simple, the easiest of the types of calculating mean. You have already done this so many times in 10th, and I have also taught this in here. Second question: the mean age of 4 participants in a relay race was calculated to be 24 years. Later, it was found that one of the participants' actual age was 27 years. That means this is a question of correcting the wrong mean. That 27 was recorded, it was actual, but it was wrongly recorded as 25 years. So 27 is the correct value, 25 is the wrong value. If there is a rule which states that it is not possible to participate if the mean age is more than 25 years, can our team participate even after correcting the mean age? How we are going to start here is starting with the mean is 24 years and total number of participants are 4. So we will start by finding out the incorrect total. How we do that? We do that by writing down the mean formula. X bar is equal to summation xi upon n, which is 24. We will replace the value of n with 4 and take it to the opposite side. So summation xi will be 24 into 4, that will be 96 years. So the sum of age of all the 4 participants is 96, which includes the wrong value itself. So correct value is 96 minus the wrong value, which is 25, plus the correct value, which is 27, and you will find the corrected total of the age is 98 years. Now we will calculate mean using this corrected total. So correct summation xi upon n will be 98 upon 4. The answer is 24.5 years. Now the upper limit is 25 years, while the average here is 24.5 years. That means our team can participate in the relay race. Okay, so this is how you solve this kind of sums. We will move forward to the next one. Third question: the following table gives the diameters in millimeter of different screws selected from a large consignment. We have to find the mean diameter. Now this is a question where discrete frequency distribution is given. The diameter is x and the number of screws is f. The diameters are 30 mm, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 mm. As you can see here, the diameters all have a common factor. Each of them have a difference of 5. That means we can take the shortcut method here to easily solve the sum. These are the frequencies. The total frequency is 45. We will start with D. As you can see here, the middle value is not there, so I have taken 40 as the assumed mean here. that is the assumed value here is 40. So A will be 40, x minus 40, and as I told you earlier, the difference is 5 between all the values of x. So the common factor I have taken here will be 5. I will start directly here because x will be deducted by 40 and divided by 5. So similarly, I will get negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. When I multiply these values with the frequency, that is frequency multiplied by deviation, I will get negative 8, negative 10, 0, 8, 10 and 9, and the total here will be 9. So I will put this value into my mean formula of discrete frequency distribution for shortcut A plus summation FIDI divided by summation FI multiplied by C. If you want, you can use the regular method of FIXI here, but I prefer to use shortcut wherever there is a possibility of using it. A here is 40, summation FIDI is 9, FI is 45 multiplied by common factor 5. When you solve this, it becomes 40 plus 1, that is 41 centimeters. Thus, the mean diameter here of screw is 41 centimeters. Moving on to the fourth question, the marks in test for a group of students are as follows. We have to find the mean marks. The question given here has marks and the number of students, that is frequency. The marks are in classes, so there is a continuous distribution. As you can see here, the classes are 0 to 10, 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, and then total. So all the classes have equal class lengths. So again, we are going to use the shortcut method where the class length will be the common factor. Now I will write down the frequencies here. The total frequency will be, when you make a total of them, 56. Now I have to prepare a table again, and this time the first row will be the mid values. As you know, the classes cannot be used directly for the calculation of mean. We have to convert those classes into mid values so that we can get the variable x. Mid value, if you have forgotten, is calculated with the upper boundary point plus lower boundary point divided by 2. So we will get mid values for all of these classes. The middlemost value of each class is 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55 and 65. Now next I am taking D. How I am taking D? The middlemost value of this all the mid values is 35. So I am taking assumed mean as 35. And as the class length for each class is 10, I am taking common factor C as 10. So x minus 35 divided by 10. So 5 minus 35 divided by 10 is negative 3. Similarly, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, these numbers are in a sequence. So when the classes are with equal class lengths, these numbers are always in a sequence with assumed mean as 0 and remaining right side numbers as 1, 2, 3 and left side numbers as negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 and so on. Now I am multiplying frequency with the deviation here, that is FD. So 3 3s are negative 9, 5 2s are negative 10, 12 1s are negative 1, negative 12, my mistake, 16 zeros are 6, 0, 11 1s are 11, 5 2s are 10, 4 3s are 12. And when you make a total of these values, you will get just 2. Due to the negative and positive values cancelling each other out, the value here is 2. We will put this value into our formula for mean, that is A plus summation FIDI divided by summation FI into C. The A here is 35, FIDI is 2, FI is 56 and the common factor is 10. When you solve this, you get 35 plus 0.36, that is 35.36 marks. So the average marks scored by students are 35.36 marks. Next will be the fifth question. The following information is available on the talk time noted in minutes for 70 calls of a certain mobile phone user. We have to find the mean talk time. So out of the 70 calls, we need to find out the average talk time used by the mobile phone user. The table is given here, talk time in minutes and number of calls. But as you can see, the question is given here in the less than type method. Less than 4 minutes, less than 8, less than 12, less than 16 and less than 20 minutes. That means this is a question given into the cumulative frequency model. This kind of a question we have solved in one of the illustrations. You can check that illustration out on top of your screen. If you click it, you will get to that video. What we need to do is we need to convert this cumulative frequency distribution into a regular class. So for that we need to again prepare a table with talk time in minutes and number of calls. Now any talk time is at the list 0. No talk time can go to negative. So the first class will start from 0 minutes and it will end at 4 minutes. Next class will be from 4 minutes to 8 minutes. Then it will be 8 minutes to 12 minutes. You see, I am just taking the values from the talk time minutes, less than 4, less than 8, less than 12, and converting them into the classes. So 12 to 16 and then 16 to 20. The last column will be for the total. Now we need to convert our frequencies into cumulative frequencies. The first one I will take directly as it is already less than type 20. Next, I have to find the difference. In the last tutorial also I have explained how to do this. In one of my previous chapters I have also explained how to do this. So difference 42 minus 20, 22, then 15, then 65 minus 57 is 8 and 70 minus 65 is 5. And when you make a total of all these frequencies, you will get total 70. Now you have to convert this frequency distribution for D and FD. But before that, because these are the classes, we need to calculate the mid value also. So here mid value X will be 2, 6, 10, 14 and 18. Now 10 is in the middle, so I will assume 10 as the A, and as you can see the difference between all these values is constant as 4. I will take the common factor as 4. So D will be X minus 10 divided by 4, where A is 10, C common factor is 4. So 2 minus 10 divided by 4 is negative 2, then negative 1, 0, 1 and 2. Multiply this deviation row with the frequency row and you will get FD. 22s are negative 40, 21, 22 ones are negative 21, 2, 15, 0 is 0, 8, 1 is 8, 5 into 2 is 10. And when you make a total, you will get a negative 44 as your total. Put this value into our formula for mean, that is A plus summation Fi di upon summation Fi into C. The common factor is 10, Fi di is negative 44, summation Fi is 70 and common factor is 4. So assumed mean 10 minus, when we solve the latter part we get negative 2.51, that is 7.49 minutes. Thus the mean talk time is 7.49 minutes. That means on an average on each call the person spends 7.49 minutes. Moving on to the sixth question, the information of profit in lakh rupees of 50 firms is as follows. We have to find the mean profit. The data is given as profit in lakh rupees and number of firms, that is the frequency. Profit is 0 to 7, 7 to 14, 14 to 21, 21 to 28, 28 to 35. As you can see here, the classes are constant, that is the class length of 7 is there. And the number of firms are 4, 9, 18, 12 and 7. So that means total number of firms are 50, which was actually given in the question itself. We need to prepare the mid values first from the given classes, that will be our variable X. So 0 to 7, 0 plus 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, 7 plus 14 divided by 2 is 10.5 and so on. We will get all the mid values in the row. Next, we have to decide about the deviation here. The middle value of the mid values is 17.5. So I will just assume it as A. And as I told you earlier, the class length is 7. So my common factor will be 7. So A will be 17.5 and C will be 7. So 3.5 minus 17.5 divided by 7 is negative 2, then negative 1, 0, 1 and 2. I think I have already explained you how this works. You just need to put these values into the equation and you will get your answer. Okay, so don't get confused at this stage. Next, multiply the frequency with the deviation here. So 4 2s are negative 8, 9 1s are negative 9, 18 0 is 0, 12 1s are 12, 7 2s are 14. And when you solve this, you get 9. So put this value into our equation for mean A plus summation Fi di upon summation Fi into C. The assumed mean here is 17.5. The common factor is 7. Fi di is 9 and Fi is 50. So solve the latter part. 17.5 plus 1.26 is 18.76 lakh rupees. That means thus the mean profit of firms will be rupees 18.76 lakhs. Moving on to the last question of the exercise, the distribution of demand of an item is as follows. We have to find the mean demand. The table here is demand in units and number of items. Demand, as you can see here, is 5 to 14, then 15 to 24. Now this is a bit of a different class, as you can see here, that first class ends at 14 and then next class does not start at 14 but it starts as 15. Now if you guys remember the second chapter properly, this is a kind of question where the classes are inclusive type of classes. The classes here are of the inclusive type, as the lower boundary and the upper boundary are different. Second thing, the classes have different class lengths, they don't have equal class lengths. 5 to 14, 15 to 24 and up to 25 to 34 the class lengths are 10. Then 35 to 49, 50 to 64 and 65 to 79. These three classes have the class length of 15. So it is going to be a bit tricky to decide the assumed mean and the common factor here. But let us write down the frequencies first, because before deciding about the common factor and the assumed mean, we need to convert these classes into a regular classes, that is the exclusive classes. So we will convert these inclusive classes into the exclusive classes first. And if you guys don't know how to do that, refer to my video on the screen which explains how to convert the inclusive classes into the exclusive classes. Demand into units, number of items, that is the frequency. Now 5 to 14, the simple method is to deduct 0.5 from the lower boundary and add 0.5 into the upper boundary. So 5 minus 0.5 and 14 plus 0.5 will be 4.5 to 14.5. Same method is to be applied to each of the remaining classes. Deduct 0.5 from the lower boundary, add 0.5 into the upper boundary. So you will get the classes like 14.5 to 24.5, 24.5 to 34.5, 34.5 to 49.5, 49.5 to 64.5, 64.5 to 79.5. So now as you can see, all the classes have become exclusive. Just copy down the frequencies once again, because frequencies are not going to change here. We are just creating exclusive classes out of the inclusive classes. The total frequency is 90. The next step is to calculate the mid values for these classes. That will be our variable x. So mid value here will be in the points, as you know, 9.5, 19.5, 29.5. You can use either inclusive classes or the exclusive classes for the calculation of mid value. The mid value will not change. So upper boundary plus lower boundary divided by 2. Your answer will be same, no matter it is inclusive or exclusive. So these will be your mid values. Now checking out the assumed mean and the common factor here is a tricky, as the class length is different, inclusive has been converted to exclusive, but I will stick to a simple method. I will take 29.5 as the assumed mean, and the first three classes were in the multiple of 10, the remaining three classes were in the multiple of 15. So the common factor between the class lengths 10 and 15 is 5, as 5 2s are 10 and 5 3s are 15. So what I am going to do, I am going to take 5 as the common factor here. So assumed mean will be 29.5 and the common factor will be 5, and accordingly I will solve all the deviations here. 9.5 minus 29.5 divided by 5 is negative 4. 19.5 minus 29.5 divided by 5 is negative 2. 29.5 minus 29.5 is 0. 42 minus 29.5 divided by 5, it will be a decimal answer 2.5. Similarly, I will get 5.5 and 8.5. When I multiply this deviations with the number of items, I will get negative 16, negative 34, 0, 55, 99 and 85. When I make a total, I get 189. So the next step is to calculate mean, that is a plus summation FIDI divided by summation FI into C. So that would be 29.5 plus 189 upon 90 into 5. Solving that, I get 29.5 plus 10.5, that is 40 units to be exact. So the mean demand of an item is 40 units. Okay, so with this our exercise 3.1 ends. Welcome students to Vitan Sir's Unacount Academy. That's better way to success for you. I am Vitan Vora and I teach accountancy, statistics and social science. You can contact me on my cell number 919426310184. Please give a sub to my channel and also check out my other video playlist which you can see on the screen. Thank you and I will see you in the next video.